Okay, thank goodness. That one had been following me, tailgating me, and nobody else on that part of the road on either side at first moved over. They moved over right behind me. Really? Anytime I go out, this is the case. But anyway, so I could say that I've kind of felt like, okay, maybe they were in sync, but these days, I don't know how people are about this. I don't hear people talk about it anymore. Not like we had to go through this. Whereas when I was young, the society really didn't allow for women to speak on their menstrual cycles. That even saying that word was menses, isn't it called? I mean, it was so hush, 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 hush. But when I lost my filter once I taught at college and university, yeah. Took the classes, I'd say it was when I lost my filter on that kind of thing. Okay, it's a little bit later. I forgot to go by, and because it's not my habit to go by the pharmacy and get a prescription that they filled. And anyway, I forgot to do it, but I've got the notification when I got home. Okay. Yeah, she said she was sending it then. It took them a while. The pharmacy, I thought it was from them, but it was the pharmacy. So, anyway, it's a good thing that I didn't go straight there. I would have been ticked off to have to wait for so long, because it's a drive, And anyway, I probably wouldn't have been ticked off. I don't get ticked off. And that's where, so much. I get, what does the word flabbergasted mean? I can't remember. I haven't heard that in eons. Flabbergasted. But anyway, what was I talking about back then? Oh yeah, first I went home. I was right down the road from home. Went home. Went to the ladies' room. Told Adam about how irritated both of those women were. Wow. And were they ever? I mean, I felt it in my body. They were so, touchy, irritated, all that. And did not make for a good visit at all. Because, like I told Adam, when she said that, and I said no. He said, "Good going." Oh man, he knows about my struggles with all this. And there was much more to that. But I was also talking about what I used to say, and that's back in that day, what I used to say. That my own experience, and that does not mean it would be anybody else's. That does not make it science. It is not. It's just my own experience of what I had seen in men that I knew, had noticed over years and years. And I'm not talking about somebody I just knew 5 seconds or something. Met it, saw at a store, and said, "Hey, how you doing?" Nothing like that. But no, men I knew. I started from when I was young, I guess. Yeah. And, what I had noticed was, for men, it was just like about the same thing, like the 20, actually they call it something else, 29, it was a 28-day cycle, but then they changed the way that they put it, and it wasn't exactly 28 days. Anyway, it was the same for men. Pretty much, maybe a little bit different in that, how many days. But what it would be like, what I had seen, was like a really quick bipolar episode. Seriously. I used to say that. I remember that back in the day that I used to say. But it was like that. It was, but in a way, only in a way. It was like they would all of a sudden get this idea in their head. Whatever relationship I had with them, whether it work or, like family. Yeah, Adam, okay. And what it would be is, how to put this? Like I said, they get this idea in their head. they're just going around normal, for a while. And then all of a sudden they get this big idea. They were going to go in and save the day. Why are you going so slow? Seriously. Oh, you're going to turn. There you go. But this road is 45 and they were going 30. So, and yeah, I could be, just like I started off, I could move over to the other lane. Yep, I know when I am just as guilty. So anyway, so they're going to go in, they're going to save the day. And it builds up to that point. They're going to really go in and save the day. They're going to be the best family person, the best employee, the best boss, the best whatever it was. Okay, they're going to change the world. And then they realize, no, they won't. They can't do it. There's roadblocks. And I remember this is this time goes by. Say it about a week, the whole process. Oh, they're angry. They cannot do what they expect that they can do. They were going to save the world, save the family, save the everything. It reminded me of Pinky and the Brain intro. Okay. I remember saying that now. That's funny. I remember saying it was like Pinky and the Brain. And that intro is so cute. Look it up on YouTube. Anyway, then once they realize and they get so angry, man, that anger fades. Oh my, and that's the same type that, like I experienced today with women. They want to take their anger and frustration out on somebody else. Darlings, not gonna happen. But then that would happen with men. That anger built up. They were going to do all that. It must be somebody else. Must be somebody else's fault. Oh, and it's not funny if you're on the receiving end. It is not funny. And but then with men, go back to men here. They're going to save the day, and then they can realize they can't do everything in the world, and so then. It's like that anger fades, they go through it, and then all of a sudden, boom, crash. Or I should say crash, boom. And they're just, like they're stunned at first because they just crashed, boom. And then they're real sad. What's this about life? Why is it like this? Why couldn't I do what I wanted to do? What's wrong? Why is everybody like they are? And that goes on, what's going on with the world? Why are they all so mean? What's my life all about? You see, they get depressed. And then they just get worse for a while. And then, maybe they have somebody who's trying to cheer them up a little bit. Finally, it seems like it gets into them a little bit, and then they say, okay, and it just fades off, and they become that same person, and they last like 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Then boom, they're gonna save the world. Get it? Yeah, get it? That's my experience and how the men in my life that I saw go through this did it. Now, were any of them actually bipolar? I don't know. Really don't. So, okay, just FYI. Now, I kind of remember from, I'm on this kick lately of saying that so much terminology for so many things, and I'm pointing out each one by one, has changed in my life, 61 years. And back then, bipolar disorder, if it's still called that today, I don't know. You never know, because that's the point. Things, the terminology used, the terms, the words, the phrases, just the title of something, the name of whatever it is, they change so quickly, or so it feels to me, and so often. And bipolar was, and cannot remember. This is what it said, sort of. Was it manic depression or manic depressive? I think it was depressive. I could be wrong, very wrong. That was a long time ago, whenever I remember people use that. When it changed, I don't know. Because a lot of the times when things change, you know, like in something like that, people still use the old-fashioned, as they say it, or old school. Am I on the wrong road again? Yes. I've done this before. Oh, this is my fault. I have done this before. Golly. These two roads right here have always done this to me. I mean, pretty much always. I think they're so similar to me. Maybe not to other people, but so similar to me. Yeah. Then I'll take this one, which is the one before the next one. There's another road, two roads, and I know I'm not the only person that does that on those. But because one of them is called Parker, the other one, the very next street south is called Parker Park, and they're very similar. Very, very. Anyway, I'm gonna have to move over here, and then I don't know which road goes up. I think it's this one. Where was I? Okay, I don't know if it's this road or not. Oh my goodness. Hopefully I don't wind up on this one called Bossy Boots, because then I would know that I'm way hip. This is not even a road. This is just a business parking area. Okay, I don't know why you're following me. Wow, speeding too. It really gets me when people tailgate in a parking lot. Seriously. What's wrong with you? Anyway, so what was I talking about? Yeah, and I didn't need that truck in front of me, just pulling out right in front of me. Apparently didn't even look to see I was coming down that road. My goodness. You know, I said I thought today was going to be an embarrassing day. Well, so far it's just been is they all going to be every person I run across, or, you know, of course I shouldn't use all. But am I going to keep seeing this kind of thing? People doing things wrong. And I'm sounding like I'm the one that's irritated. No, been there, done that. It's over now, thank goodness. Long ago. So yeah, I have no filter. Really don't. And I don't think we should. So, there. Where was I talking? Where was I in this? I know what I was talking about, but where was I in it? Okay. I think it's this next street. Yeah, this is a real drive vlog, so I think that's Bossy Boots. And I don't want to take Bossy Boots. It is Bossy Boots. So, yeah. You see, I'm not joking. Bossy Boots. See the name of the road? Bossy Boots. It's got a story behind it. Anyway, so where was I? I better think about it. Okay, well, I know I had finished what I was talking about men. And that is how I saw these men, what they did. How they went through it. It's like, you know, there's so much of what we know is about women. And it was always used against us. And when I was younger, it was used against women. This is a good street. I think so. Whee! Adam always laughs when I do that. But it was used, you know, used us against us, saying, "Oh, what are you, hormonal? You're being a hormonal." What about you guys? You know, the whole thing of women should never run the country because of their hormonal mood swings. How were men doing that? Did they do that well? How many wars did we have, and battles, and all this testosterone that beat my chest? Bossy Boots. So this is where Bossy Boots would wind up. But you know, really seriously, how many of us have heard that before? And that's because a lot of people were putting it out there that this needs to stop, this mentality. But the mentality, still, you hear it today. And remember, I'm 60 years old. Okay, and so quite often it doesn't get to everybody. It takes a while. Actually, when I was a student, one of the things we learned was in one of my classes was that things that the scientific community wouldn't know about, and it would be made really quickly common knowledge, that in that field. Okay, it would go rather quickly, but with the rest of society, the GP, general population, that I think is a criminal justice term. But anyway, it would take like 20 years on average, 20 years to get out to, just regular folk, okay, lay people. So think about it. But it's been longer than 20 years because some things people stubbornly hold on to. Not everybody. It does change in waves, kind of like waves. But usually with the more younger people, it would change. The older people can still hold on to what they've heard, and they may not ever use it, like Flabbergasted. They heard when they were young. I heard it when I was young. And it's not used with, as time changes. So it's a question, well, the last time I heard, what it meant was the same thing with this of being, what are you being hormonal? So I was not saying about these women. And like I said, I don't care what the pronoun is. But yeah, it's as though they were, and it could have been something, it actually could not have been something simple unless they were on the telephone and got into a fight or something, because I saw both of them walk in to the building, each one separately, irritated. You get it, right? So, anyway, that's the lesson for today. No, it's not. I'm not teaching anything. So, I'm steering clear of all that kind of stuff. Sometimes you just can't stop yourself, though, from just feeling it. But no, I don't give anybody any form of advice. Don't take anything I say as rule, law, any of that stuff. Okay, now, wow, what a day. Like I said, it takes about 3 hours of my day. Let me see. Yeah, this right now would be 3 hours. But if I had gone there earlier, they wouldn't have had it ready. So 3 hours and about 15 minutes. But then again, I had to wake up early another hour, so there's 4. Seriously. Oh my goodness. But that's stuff that you usually do. Still, it takes a big chunk out of my day, and I did not, I'm not going to keep wasting my time. You want to call me and talk to me about, but then she did say, then after that, I'll see you every 3 months. Good, because I was getting tired of this. Finding an excuse to constantly, have to monitor me on something. I don't know why she's doing this monitoring thing. She also said that she was going to give me a referral to an endocrinologist. Well, I'd asked her about that from the beginning. I'm talking earlier this year, January, I think. And it was, or no, I think I may have first seen her, I don't know, at the end of last year or this year. Anyway, beginning of this year. And that's what I wanted, and she kind of got, she goes, well, I just, she got snippy that day, too. Yeah. And, anyway, I said, I just don't want the one that I already had. She goes, I think I know who that is. I said, I don't want to use her name. And she said, well, I probably know who you're talking about. So apparently this woman probably does have a reputation, thank goodness. So people won't think it's just me. But then again, some of these things they put on some kind of, I don't know, they can access, certain ones can access previous information. And but I'm just not going to give the name of the doctor, the endocrinologist, or whatever. So I'm not, can't be accused, of slander, well, defamation of character or whatever it's under these days. like I said, everything keeps changing. I'm not kidding. I mean, seriously. Really. You never know what it's going to be today. Especially in things like, I don't know if I don't like this mall. I don't like going into this mall at all. I mean, it's got some good stores, but the whole setup is difficult. It weaves around in a way, and to get out of it, I don't have a map for the mall. So, you see what I'm saying? How it weaves around. Anyway. But I'm not going to set it up by saying names of stuff and everything. Nah. So that's why I say I'm not going to say the name of the person. Nope. Yeah, but I thought it was interesting that she goes, I think I know who it is. So, yeah, because some of these people, like, you're behind closed doors. Now, they tell you that one of these hospitals, it actually, it actually has a sign that says no video recording, no recording in any shape. Basically, it lets you know in no way